If you're watching this video and you clicked on it based upon the title, then it's probably a good assumption you're interested in the career field of data science. And I mean, why wouldn't you be? After all, according to the US Bureau of Labor and Statistics, data science careers have a 35% projected growth rate up until the year of 2032. And according to this source, as well as Indeed, the median pay of data scientists is somewhere between $108,000 and $123,000 per year, which is not too shabby. However, even in today's absolutely insane market, there are still over 7,500 data scientist job openings here in the US, with about 1,700 of those being entry level. Now, about 5 or 6 years ago, data scientist jobs were considered the most sexiest job of the 21st century. However, with the meteoric rise of ChatGPT and AI, as well as the massive tech layoffs that have hit the industry over the last couple of years, the question has probably surfaced in your mind, as well as others, as to whether or not this career field is worth it in 2024. Now, I would personally like to lay those fears to rest. After all, out of the hundreds of thousands of jobs that have been lost in the tech industry over the course of the last few years, only about 3% of them can be attributed to data scientist roles. In fact, the role that has taken the greatest hit over these layoffs over the past few years have been software engineers, of which about 22% have seen some sort of job instability. Combine that with the fact that even with the rise of AI and ChatGPT, the sheer amount of data that humanity is producing every single year is quite frankly astronomical. I'll link this article that I'm about to show in the description down below, but about 90% of the entire world's data was produced in the years 2022 and 2023 alone. And on top of that, going forward, the amount of data that is produced every single year is expected to double. Thus, the demand for being able to interpret this data with the subject matter expertise of a human in conjunction with or even beyond the ability of AI is going to be very much needed over the course of the next 10 years or so. However, perhaps the next question you should be asking is, well, if I want to become a data scientist, what is it exactly that they do? As a result, in this video, we'll take a look at the 3 sectors that employ data scientists extremely heavily, on top of covering what a day-to-day of a data scientist career in one of these sectors might look like. So with that, let's get right into it. Now, the first industry we're going to talk about is actually the industry that began to leverage the field of data science most heavily about 10 or so years ago in approaching their everyday problems, and that is in the finance industry. Now, this article from 365 Data Science does a great job of breaking down why the financial services industry needs data scientists. Some of these fields within the finance industry that use data scientists the most are going to be within the areas of fraud prevention, anomaly detection, risk management, and predictive modeling. In terms of fraud prevention, this makes sense, and this is actually sort of what I do in my day-to-day job. Being able to parse through data in order to quantify who or what constitutes a bad actor is going to save businesses lots of money to help prevent current and future use cases of fraud. After all, it's a crime, and who doesn't want to prevent people from breaking the laws? Now, in regards to the area of anomaly detection, this would make sense, right? Being able to use statistics to determine outliers could be a huge advantage to financial firms that are looking to either A, make a business decision that won't lose them money in some sort of edge use case, or perhaps make a business decision that will allow them to make money based on some outlier data. And finally, perhaps the most cool area within the financial services industry that data scientists are needed within the predictive modeling of markets. And if any of you pay basic attention to today's economy, you know that it is very much a data dependent sector, and the results of earnings, of jobs reports, of inflation numbers can play a heavy factor in determining which way the market might go. Thus, having access to a tremendous amount of data would only help to predict where the market might go in the future based on the past. Now, the second sector that uses data scientists heavily, which I was actually surprised to find out because it's actually the one that is hiring the most currently for data scientist positions, is the healthcare sector. According to this really great article by the University of San Diego, there are several sort of subfields within the healthcare sector that data scientists are used heavily. Some examples are the treatment and creation of new drugs for patients, being able to analyze test results, being able to use data in order to track the spread of diseases and what might be able to cause their prevention, are just some of the ways that data scientists can be used within the healthcare industry to make the lives and quality of lives of patients that much better. Now, just based upon a surface level understanding and interpretation of these roles, if you're interested in going into the field of healthcare for data scientists, then I would highly recommend focusing in on the fields of mathematics and statistics in addition to your coding ability, simply because within these sort of clinical trials, a lot of what is called hypothesis testing is going to be used. Having a good understanding of hypothesis testing when interpreting the results of these clinical trials will go a long way in helping you assess the results of those clinical trials. And the other tool I would make sure I have within my data science toolkit would be a good understanding of machine learning, especially as it comes to things like computer vision and image detection. Being able to predict with a high degree of certainty whether or not a certain tumor is carcinogenic will go a long way in literally saving the life of a patients. Now, the finance industry and the healthcare industry doesn't pique your interest as much. The final field we're going to talk about is one that I actually find to be probably the most logical for data science to operate in, and that is the retail industry. In fact, according to a study done by IBM, about 62% of retail companies credit an increase in their performance to leveraging and interpreting big data. Some of the subfields that led to this increase in performance that data scientists no doubt played a hand in are price optimization, personalized marketing, improved recommendations, fraud detection, see a common theme here, and inventory management. And just a surface level understanding of some of these fields, one could probably see just how a data scientist can impact each one. For price optimization, if you charge something too expensive, a customer won't buy it, but if you charge too little, you won't be able to support a large enough margin to warrant investing, for example. For personalized marketing, who doesn't want to sell more to a customer? And if a customer is shown something that they would have no interest in purchasing, well, you potentially just lost out on a customer with an upcharge, for example. If a customer is not shown or recommended something that they want to purchase, a retailer stands to lose money on a potential sale simply for not understanding what constitutes their customer base. Now, if you would like to pursue a data science career within the retail industry, then I would recommend you probably study the fields of machine learning, mathematics, statistics, as well as really get a good grasp on how to perform data analysis to drive key insights and business decisions, and to be able to storyboard and tell a story with the data that you are analyzing. Business executives just don't have the time to parse through millions of lines of CSV files, and so being able to interpret that within a PowerPoint presentation, for example, are really why data scientists get paid the way they do, to help drive business decisions via data storytelling. And so there you have it, 3 industries that are not only currently hiring for data scientist roles, but will have a need for data scientist roles going into the foreseeable future. Again, as I said in the beginning of this video, I really don't think that there's going to be a decrease in the demand of data scientists. Rather, I think, and I would argue, you are actually going to see the exact opposite. As it relates to AI and ChatGPT, I feel like as a data scientist, figure out how to leverage these tools and how to use them and incorporate them into your day-to-day tasks to make yourself highly efficient, as well as to just simply increase 2x or 3x your work output. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment down below which industry you might find to be the most interesting, and whether or not this video has convinced you at least to pursue a career in the field of data science. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See you there.